ready for a deep dive into something new. We're in the world of NFTs today, but we're going beyond the usual digital art and collectibles.
Definitely.
We're talking about ZNF-COIN, a project that's caught our eye because they're trying to blend the world of, well, collectible coins with blockchain technology.
Yeah, it's a fascinating concept, isn't it?
Mhm.
When you think about it, collectible coins have always been treasured, right?
Well,
For their history, the rarity, craftsmanship, and now imagine bringing that same allure to the digital
it's
space.
like they're almost like trying to reinvent something that's already came so much, historical weight behind it, but giving it a modern twist.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And we're all about going straight to the source on these deep dives. So we've been digging through the official ZNF-COIN website to understand what they're all about. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
What exactly are these ZNF coins?
Yeah, so they're calling them collectible NFTs, which I think is already an interesting blend, right?
Yeah, what do you make of that?
It's unique, and it's essentially, from what I've gathered, they've created 10,500 unique digital assets designed to really evoke that feeling of owning like a rare coin.
Okay.
So think like detailed engravings, historical figures, that kind of thing. And these ZNF coins are split into 6 different series, kind of like how, some physical coins are more valuable because of like what they're made of or when they were minted.
So from the get-go, there's that sort of like built-in rarity, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's not just one giant collection. There's some strategy involved already.
Right, which is interesting. And they're not just, we're talking about NFTs here. They're not just like, you know, digital images.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
These things are living on a blockchain.
This is where it gets, to that next level for me, because these are ERC-721 tokens, which I know it sounds like jargon, but basically means they're unique, they're verifiable on the Ethereum blockchain.
It's like that digital certificate of authenticity.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. Like, you can't just copy and paste these things. They're one of a kind, just like a rare coin would be.
Which, in the world of digital assets where, duplication is so easy, that's a big deal.
Huge.
Now, I've got to ask about this ISV they keep mentioning, initial series value. Sounds like they've built in some kind of safety net here, am I right?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Like, this ISV is one of the things that really piqued my interest, right? Because it offers, you, the listener, a level of security that you don't always see with NFTs, right?
Yeah, which can be, a little wary making that jump in.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So each series has its own starting ISV, and ZNF-COIN guarantees they'll buy back your NFT at that price. So it's almost like having a safety net, You kind of know, all right, worst case scenario, I can get out at this price.
That is huge, especially for anyone who's been hesitant to jump into NFTs because the volatility scares them, right?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, dipping your toes in the water without jumping in the deep end.
Exactly. But wait, there's more. There's more to it. So we've got this ISV, this sort of like, base value, but then there's this blockchain value BV, and that's where the potential for growth comes in, right?
That's exactly it. Think of it this way. Imagine you've got a limited edition baseball card, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Its value, it might go up over time if the player, becomes a superstar or if the card just becomes super rare. The BV is similar. It's designed to increase as the whole ZNF-COIN project gains traction and becomes more popular.
Interesting. So it's tying into that, that scarcity model.
Right.
As more people want it, the value theoretically goes up. Now, before we get too far into, analyzing that, I want to touch on one more thing that I thought was very interesting when I was on their website. They mention that they use minimal AI in their creation process, less than 10%.
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Why is that significant?
I think it's huge, especially in today's like AI-driven world,
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, right? And I think by emphasizing that human element behind their designs, they're trying to like really align themselves with those traditional collectors,
They value the artistry.
Exactly. It's like it's suggesting that each ZNF-COIN has this level of care and intentionality that maybe you wouldn't find in a purely AI-generated collection.
Right. Because you could argue, there's almost an unlimited number of possibilities with AI.
Right, exactly.
So by limiting it, they're saying, no, we're choosing to be very selective here.
It's like a curated collection almost.
It's like they're trying to bridge that gap between, that physical and digital world.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something, we've talked about before. Like, can NFTs ever really replicate that feeling of holding something tangible?
Yeah, that's a good question.
But it seems like they're really trying to hit both sides of that coin, so to speak, appealing to both, the seasoned coin collector, but also someone who's really deep in the NFT space.
Right. I think it's a smart strategy, you know?
Yeah.
You're appealing to two potentially very different audiences, but finding that common ground.
Okay. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the roadmap because we've got a sense of what these things are, but what's the plan?
Yeah, what's the future hold?
Yeah. What can you, the listener, expect to see happen, in the coming weeks, months, whatever it might be?
Yeah, so they've laid out a pretty clear four-phase roadmap on their website, and the first phase is all about, building a strong foundation. So right now they're hyper-focused on community engagement, spreading the word, drumming up that initial buzz, that initial excitement. They even have a whitelist, which is basically, it's like an exclusive club for early supporters.
So rewarding those who kind of get in early and believe in the vision and the concept.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like that early adopter advantage.
Smart. Smart. But what about, you're listening to this, you're like, okay, this sounds really cool, but when can I actually get my hands on these ZNF coins?
Right.
What does the roadmap say about, when these things are actually going to be released?
So that's where phase two comes in.
Okay.
Phase two is the official launch.
Okay.
And they're planning on a staggered release of the 6 series. So think of it like, the anticipation around like a rare coin release.
It's like building the hype, right?
Exactly, exactly. By releasing each series gradually, they're creating that buzz, that sense of scarcity that, gets people excited.
It's a classic strategy, but it seems to be working,
It does, it does.
I've definitely seen some chatter, some buzz building around this. But what happens after that initial launch? What's ZNF-COIN's vision for, the long term? We'll dive into phases 3 and 4 right after the break.
Join the revolution. Own a piece of the future with our collectible NFTs. Visit our website at www.znfcoin.com and connect with us on X and Discord.
And we're back, diving even deeper into this whole ZNF-COIN thing. Before the break, we were getting into their roadmap, how they're planning to actually launch this whole thing. Phase 3 sort of caught my eye. Sounds like it's about more than just collecting. What's the key takeaway there?
Yeah, so phase 3 is interesting because it's where they want to, kind of step outside of just that initial launch and get into a broader market. So they're talking about listing on secondary marketplaces, which is kind of like, if you think about a physical coin collection, it's like taking it public.
So instead of like trading rare coins at a convention or something, you could be buying and selling these ZNF coins on online platforms, potentially for a profit.
Exactly.
Okay, so that opens up a whole nother level of, accessibility, I guess, excitement maybe for, you as the listener potentially.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it injects that element of will it go up in value.
That speculation that, for better or worse, kind of drives a lot of these markets.
Exactly.
What about phase 4? What signals are you seeing there?
Phase 4 is where I think it gets really interesting in terms of long-term engagement. They're hinting at governance features, which could give you, as a ZNF-COIN holder, a say in the project's future. So It's like going from, just owning a piece of art to like having a voice on the board of the museum.
That's huge. It gives people skin in the game.
Exactly.
It's that, that Web3 promise of, like, you're not just a consumer, you're a participant.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I went to their website, right, and I'm looking at these 6 series, and it says currently unavailable across the board.
Right.
What's the deal? Can you even get your hands on these things right now?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and it kind of highlights the strategy that they're using right now. Remember, they're in phase 1, right? They're building anticipation.
Right.
So that currently unavailable tag is, I think, a very deliberate choice. It's a way to, again, create that sense of scarcity.
A little FOMO going on there, maybe.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And you can't have it yet.
Yeah. So I can't go and buy one right this second.
Yeah.
What should you, the listener, be doing while you're waiting for those gates to open?
I think now is the perfect time to, really deep dive.
Yeah.
Head to the website, really explore what they're all about. Their ZNF-COIN Genesis Collection section, gold mine of information, like their whole design philosophy.
Like doing your due diligence before you make an investment.
Exactly. You wouldn't buy a rare coin without, really examining it
Oh,
closely.
exactly.
And I think equally important, don't underestimate the community aspect. ZNF-COIN, very active on Discord, on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Right.
Jump into those conversations, ask questions, get a feel for the vibe.
So it's about connecting with other people who are into this, who share that passion for collectibles, for technology, maybe a little bit of both.
100%, yeah. I think you can pick up a lot of valuable insights, just by listening to what other enthusiasts are saying.
Okay. So while we can't tell you when those coins will be available, we can tell you, do your research, join the community, be ready, because, when those gates do open, you'll be ahead of the game.
Absolutely.
But what does this all mean? Is ZNF-COIN just another NFT project, or could it be something more?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
They're tapping into something I think quite unique, which is this enduring appeal of collectible coins, but with this digital twist.
It's a bold experiment.
Yeah.
They're trying to blend the old with the new. But are they really onto something here? Could ZNF-COIN represent a larger shift in the NFT landscape?
Yeah.
We'll explore that very question right after this.
Join the revolution. Own a piece of the future with our collectible NFTs. Visit our website at www.znfcoin.com and connect with us on X and Discord.
And we're back. And, before the break, we were really kind of like grappling with this question of, could ZNF-COIN signal a shift, a real shift in the NFT world?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen NFTs kind of shake things up, right? Digital art, music, even gaming,
Yeah.
but collectible coins.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that feels like a whole different, ball game, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, coin collecting, I think a lot of people see that as, it's almost like a traditional, you could even say maybe even like an old-fashioned hobby in some ways.
Yeah.
But they're trying to bridge that gap, right? They're taking something with literally centuries of history and trying to propel it into this new digital age.
It's almost like, you're getting the best of both worlds in a sense, right? Because you get that tangibility, you get the history, you get the craftsmanship that we associate with physical coins, but then you've got this added layer of blockchain technology, right? The security, the transparency, the global reach,
And it's all verifiable.
And it's all verifiable. It's a really powerful combination.
Yeah, and I think, you brought up community earlier, and I think, they're putting a lot of emphasis on that as well, trying to foster the sense of shared passion, which I don't know about you, but I feel like sometimes that's lacking a little bit in the digital space.
It can feel a little cold sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one thing to own a rare digital asset, but it's another to be a part of a community that truly values it and understands it.
Right. And there's a certain excitement that comes with being a part of something new, being a part of something innovative, and this definitely feels new in a way.
Totally.
But like any experiment, right? There were no guarantees. Can they pull this off?
Right.
Can they really make collectible coins cool again?
Right.
But in the metaverse this time.
That's the multi-million-dollar question, right? I mean, only time will tell, but I think, for me, that's what makes it exciting to watch, right?
Right.
Because it's this is a project with the potential to really, change how we think about digital collecting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess, the final takeaway for you, the listener, is if this idea of owning a piece of digital history, something that harkens back to something that's, very established, but also is brand new at the same time. If that's interesting to you, if you're drawn to this sort of intersection of art and technology and community, ZNF-COIN is worth, clicking that link, heading over to the website, like you were saying, do a little deep dive of your own.
Absolutely. Get in those Discord chats, Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's what it's all about.
And who knows, you might just find yourself, swept up in all this as this whole thing kind of unfolds.
It's a ride, for sure.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed this exploration of ZNF-COIN as much as we did, at least, getting to kind of dig into it and learn about it.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. And, until next time, just Keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep an open mind, because this NFT space, it's not slowing down, is it?
Not even a little bit.
So there's always something new to discover.